JFlinch, author of People Solve Problems. I'm going to talk to you today about auditing your problem-solving system. Many leaders want to think about how to systemically audit their system. How is problem-solving working? How do they know that it's working right? Many organizations put in place tools such as leader standard work or layered process audits as ways to pay attention to, are our processes working the way they're supposed to? Well, problem solving is no exception. We should be paying attention to how our problem solving is working as part of any audit, any assessment, any method to make sure that we're proactive in closing our gaps. So what are some things to think about in building such an audit, such an assessment of your problem solving? So first, don't look at all the problems. You can't look at all the problems because you need to look at the depth. You need to look inside of problem solving, tear it apart, look at how things are being done. And if you're going to look at all problems, you really can only do a cursory glance at how that is done. So don't try to look at all the problems. Don't worry about quantity of problems. Worry more about how they are being done. Second, don't just look at the biggest problems. There's a tendency to do that because the biggest problems, of course, are big and matter a lot. But often the big problems are much more subjective to gaming, and they're generally not representative of the whole library and set of problem solving that goes on. And so make sure you're not just looking at the biggest problems, the most visible problems that are going on, because that's not representative of the full sample. Also, look for how the problems are being solved, not just the outcomes. So quality matters more than quantity. It's easy ways to game a system and get more problems solved. And certainly we can get some outcomes and see some results, and that matters. But in terms of how the system is working, it's the quality, it's how we're doing problem solving that really matters. And within that, there's a tendency to try to look at all aspects, but it's really opportunities to adjust what things you're paying attention to within problem solving over periods of time based on what has or has not been working. For example, if teams have tended to jump to the first solution, start looking more at are alternatives being developed. If they aren't spending enough time looking at current reality, start to look at timestamps and methods and approaches to how they're examining the current state and the causes. So adjust what aspects of the how you are focused on, that you are auditing, to adjust and close the gaps that need more attention. Now, as you're auditing, start to look under the hood, look at the various different types of contributors to your problem-solving success. Try to evaluate the behaviors that go into problem solving. Look at the capabilities in which people use the tools. Of course, consider the process and the tools and how those processes are working, and also consider the system or the ecosystem within which problem solving happens. Don't just pay attention to the tool, pay attention to the whole picture. So hopefully this is some advice as you think about auditing or assessing your problem solving, some ways to think about how to do it better as you evolve your system.